Ogusunde will back any beef.
No,
my
mom will back
parents,
beef like mad. The problem is she's just like, why would we be behaving like animals? Here?
Nothing concern my dad pass. Let's ask the Holy Spirit to take control. Hey! You imagine going somewhere to think we are about to draw the battle line. But my father will just open the Bible and say,
start praying.
A cantankerous spirit is something. So I say, hey, please, I've already told them that we're coming to fuck them up. What are you talking about, Daddy? Helly.
All names are.
All names are.
You grab later, please. I don't have the time for that. We are actually, based on being British, away in our home land. So by
what
the
a
time,
lovely time.
Honestly, by the time you see this, greener pastures.
For sure.
How is everything down there? Hope you guys are doing well. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
In Lagos, in Nigeria.
In Africa.
Wherever you people live. Hope things are going well over there. For you.
Yeah.
What do we talk about today?
Nonsense.
It's just a bit of gisting, a bit of chatting. I think I had great salient points.
It was a fun episode.
I do. I think I had salient points. I don't know about you. I definitely had salient points.
I have salientist points.
That's not any.
My points are salienter than yours.
Sure, you're British. Because you didn't get some of the key requirements. It was a good time.
Yeah.
We were, gisting. We had some dilemmas. Lovely
the
stuff.
Usual.
Just like a sit-in episode. A casual one.
Yeah.
It feels like a lazy Sunday, the episode. You don't get that.
Just enjoy
This is what I'm getting from my book reading. These are the things they say. When they describe people and they say, they feel like a lazy Sunday, you know what I mean? Or they'll say somebody feels like the first rain in the fall. All these things. That's what they say in all those books.
Nobody has ever told me I'm like the first rain in the fall.
No, you can't be.
That is not fair. At best, Hamatan. All right, guys, enjoy the episode.
Bye. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
What is the bounce?
Unwell. Is unwell. Oh my God. Being a woman is so shit sometimes.
I can't lie, it's the worst
so
thing.
Shit.
I don't get my period every month. And before I used to be in a tizzy about it. But now, wow, I've settled into the benefits of not having to go through this shit every time. It's just that when it hits, God have mercy. I just don't understand why everything has to be so complicated. Men, what do they have?
Nothing. I remember one time, can't remember when men were trying to imply that blue balls and pregnancy are the same type of discomfort.
And then they started doing that little thing they'll put on their stomach to mimic. It was the whole thing was highly irritating.
When a man has blue balls, it's the same thing.
It's just...
They're so dumb.
Extremely dumb. I'm like, how is that excruciating pain that some people cannot stand up from?
And you can't control.
Also, you can ruin any... Do you know what I love about the whole period week? Anything you're doing can be ruined at any time.
Your sleep.
You might think, today is a good day and I'm stepping out. And then all of a sudden, it's like an attack. The cramp just start coming. And you know that if I don't get home...
It's not just cramp. So even sometimes you're going to be more sensitive. So you're just itchy all of a sudden. Your body is really different.
Or your body starts hurting in a weird, you're a bit numb in a weird way.
It's so uncomfortable. This morning I looked at my entire wardrobe. I was like, I cannot wear anything here.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anything to touch me.
Yeah. I also don't like being around people.
Yes.
I find it irritating.
Yes. I felt bad, but not bad enough. So the maid in the house was like, good morning, auntie. I said, good morning. She said, did you hear me? I was like, did I not answer you? Please, just leave me.
I really hate interaction. I'm just like, the thing is, and then having to explain to someone that, because they're like, are you sick? I'm like, I'm had cramps. And then someone will say, I said, what do you...
That's
I
all.
always say to my brother, what do you mean, As if, is that all? I'm going through a lot, okay? My body's punishing me for not being pregnant. So, and the pregnancy too is another punishment. So you actually can't win on either end of the spectrum. That's the challenge.
Yeah, very upsetting and irritating.
Yeah, I would say.
Have you done anything exciting in the last 48 hours? Have you done anything exciting in the last 48 hours?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. Me also no.
I'm going to say no. But I did realize things. Yeah. I've been doing that recently.
You know, I did quick vex. So what are you even saying? What are you even saying?
I said I've been realizing many, many things actually in the last couple of days. That's what I've been doing. That's what I use my time to do. You didn't realize anything.
I realized that periods are very, very irritating.
Yeah.
Do you know that this entire thing can be an email?
What, the period?
Yeah, it can be like, do you want to be pregnant or not?
Click yes.
Click yes.
Can I just say that again? I want to reach out to people that say they are doing science, tech. What exactly are you people doing?
Charlie, I'm going to say, I'm studying microbiology.
Don't mind them. If it's time to, and sometimes you see like things people are working on and you just think, oh, you've not seen a real issue. What is happening?
Oh my gosh, so Bill Gates' last daughter is, she's a startup babe now, her and a friend of hers, and they have a podcast. I don't know. But they were talking about one idea that they had when they were roommates at Stanford, when they first started trying to come up with different ideas because they were in this class where, and one of her ideas that the friend said at the time, it made sense to her because that's all people are doing, pitching all sorts of ideas, was a Bluetooth powered tampon.
Why do I want my tampon to tell me anything?
Bluetooth powered.
So that I can be electrocuted from the inside.
And it was so funny because they were laughing when they were talking about it. But I just remember thinking, what?
Like what's going on? What would be the key information that would tell me?
Maybe we'll just tell you, I don't know, flow.
Okay, I can't see the flow.
I don't know. I was trying to understand.
Me and the tampon, two of us don't know the flow.
I don't know.
Or at my age, I don't know my flow pattern.
Speaking of tampons, every time somebody says the word tampon, do you know what I remember?
What?
When Prince Charles wrote in a letter to Camilla.
Oh my God, that he wishes he was her tampon is. I'm sorry, that's actually the King of England. And that's why I still sing God Save the Queen. This is actually specific. It's not realistic.
The Gen Zs look confused. Yes,
that's exactly what he did.
That's what happened. Some of their letters got leaked and that man was
trifling. Will didn't stand a chance.
It was so
deeply trifling, actually.
But it's like in retrospect, I don't know why the royal family just didn't let them get married.
Let me not lie. It's one of the stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy that we got Diana, and I don't think we would have gotten Diana in any other way. But it was a tragedy for everybody, including her.
Yeah, because
including the Camilla. He met Camilla before her.
Before either of them got married. So weird.
During her own marriage, and the thing is, everybody knew.
Yeah, they've been dating literally since they met.
The whole of England was very aware that Camilla was at their wedding. And even Diana had to say,
Did he wear like something that she gave him at
the wedding?
Basically, they were cheating on each other with their partner.
He would go there was a house that they had that Diana wouldn't really go to where he was doing his garden, and Camilla would be there.
All the time.
When they first when they got phones, they were always, it just didn't make any sense to anybody.
Wasn't he like godfather to her children?
Yeah, let me explain something to you. The whole thing was a hot mess. Every time they would spot him in London, he's in her house.
But again, see why we are so dynamic. From tampons, look where we are. Because this reminds me of someone...
That's what they call range.
This reminds me of someone who had said that there's an ex that they couldn't be together for... It was not a good enough reason at the time, but it was good enough but not good enough at the same time. And they are not friends. They don't speak anything. And me being where I am, I was like, oh, why? She said, because we will cheat on our partners.
Yeah, no.
Like there's no
so
way.
I say this thing that I don't think everybody has it, but I think there's a good number of people that have. It's not really the one that got away in the sense that you wouldn't. It's not like a Charles and Camilla situation where they were supposed to be together. It's not a sense of the one that got away in that if they leave two of you, end up together. Is that if they leave two of you, rubbish will happen. And people need to be aware that they have a person who can scatter their lives at any given time. And I'm always saying this to one of my friends, I don't know why you always go near this person because he has such propensity to ruin your life. Anything good that's happening in your life, one day you bump into this boy, but give it 2 weeks at the maximum, you scattered everything. Now, You're in tears. Now you've cheated on this one. Now this, and I'm just like, why do we keep going back? Why do people keep interacting? So this is the thing. I think a lot of people have that.
Really?
Let me know, like one of my, you see this I need to, every time I remember things my male friends, I realize I need to get rid of all of them. But he was saying to me that, so we were talking about him and like, I guess the ex that we thought, when it broke up, I was just like, sorry, what's up? Like, how? So what's the next, I don't guess. This was meant to be the end. He now said, there's no problem now. Give it a few years, we'll just cheat.
That is so wild. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the church girl in me. I don't understand this thing.
Guy said, no, it's not a problem now. It's just that.
Also, I know someone who had warned people about this. So it was like a family thing.
But they didn't want them to marry.
Want her to marry this guy. And he was moving abroad. But so the context is lower middle class.
Right.
He was moving abroad and everybody was like, there is no chance here for either of you. I don't think her family really approved or really liked the guy. Something, she was a bit weak-willed. So she freed and married someone that her family approved of. Maybe 6-7 years later, this guy comes back and is like, how far? She's married. She has a child. She's married. He's like, okay, bring my child with you. Mind you, this child is for her husband. He said no pee. Like,
let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving. How ahead of this thing was so wild to me because it was my grandpa that told me the story. She then was like,
cool, she's out.
Okay, cool. And she...
I think there's some battles not worth
She goes to have a conversation with her husband, who is a perfectly pleasant guy, and is bewildered. Like, what the hell is happening here? Like,
did he know that there was someone...
So, it was that way she had told him, right? And that how she loved this person. The guy was quite churchy. Very like, no, like, God will help us. We'll be together, blah, 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 blah.
Sorry.
Almost like, no, wait. Like, so again, I want to give you context. Middle, lower class.
Sure.
They are building castles in the sky. All this love as a feeling, blah, 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 blah. If you get me, I shit you not. He then, obviously, because people feel for the guy. And keep in mind, this is who her family likes. So they think what will bring her to order is a family meeting. Where apparently this babe was so sitting in the middle. She hears what everybody has to say. They abuse her. They beg her. You know, like how they do.
Yeah,
so you just sit down quietly. Then one by one, everybody will stand up and say what they want to say about you. At some point, she even knelt down in the middle. They finished what they wanted to say. No, they finished what they wanted to say. She said she has heard them and that she knows that this thing she's doing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you see, it's either she leaves him properly, legally, while everybody is still pitying him, or she makes a fool out of him. That's she's going to be with this person.
Tough times, actually.
The guy now says, hey, Kitty, leave my son. She said, no problem. Apparently, she literally was like, I don't think you guys understand.
I'm going.
Because the last time I didn't listen to my instincts, this is where we ended.
Wow.
And the person in question, I am going to be, let's together.
Wow.
Do you know why my grandpa was giving me this information? That if they call you for any family meeting that you don't know what, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there and open your mouth based on I'm an old man. That they will abuse you. Inside. That's why I was giving the information that they will insult, you know, like all these Olori family type things where something has happened and they want to involve
everybody.
My grandpa said it's not everything you carry your grey hair and go and sit down. No. That these small children of this, and this was years ago. Now they were abused.
You know, let me not lie to you. I actually can't imagine a situation where my family members will succeed in making me not marry somebody that I've decided that I'm going to marry.
She was young. So it's something that was.
So if I'm younger, yes. At this big age.
She was young, and also, I do believe I've seen lots and lots and lots of videos about it, and I agree. From University of TikTok, obviously.
Sure.
About someone talking about what makes you the perfect patsy. So in American culture, it was in the reference of what makes you a great patsy. In Nigerian culture, it was talking about what makes you a great like mumu.
Yeah.
And it's basically this idea that you are raised to be too obedient.
Yeah.
In that it takes too long.
You don't know when you like draw a line and you're like, actually, no.
This is my own mind. And I know that I was like, I don't know. But I do remember the first time I had that buck with my mom when I told her that I think you're under the impression. She was so shocked. I was like, you're under the impression that my entire life is a reflection of you. And if you push me or use like the emotional leverage you have on me to get me to do something I don't want, any slight hurdle, any inconvenience will turn to resentment of you because I'll never be convinced that this is what I actually wanted to do or this is what is good for me. But I just thought it was really interesting. And everybody faces it because do you know how wild, in retrospect, I'm sure even bringing it back to King Charles is probably like, do you know, I could have just done what I wanted.
I wonder if they always just sit down and like, do you know how much time of everybody's time we wasted? Like the whole nation. Just imagine you wasted millions of people. You wasted all our time.
Yeah, and even all the goodwill you wasted.
All the goodwill you had.
Stuff.
That's why they don't like you. To be honest, when you think about, why don't people like, it's because of this thing.
Yeah, but no, because to be fair, there's a kind of, first of all, this was pre-social media. So there was the way the media was dictated to the public.
Yeah.
And Diana was very young.
She was
like 19.
She was 19.
She was very young.
Really insane.
She was fulfilling like the Disney fantasy of becoming a princess. Yeah. She was marrying the future king of England. And the worst part was
she now didn't even have the temperament, but she knew she was going into a situation where this man not even subtly, very clearly wants to be with somebody. Actually is with the other person. It's just like we're all whining ourselves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's complete. And I wonder if at that point they sometimes sit down and like, should we not have just allowed these people to marry?
Yeah, shouldn't we just
there was so much heartache involved in the freeing them.
That wasn't necessary.
It wasn't.
I think that's the thing that bothers me the most.
But I think they felt the stakes were so high at the time. But as they kept doing it, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse for everybody involved.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I find like the rigidity, because the reason why it seemed like it's impossible was sort of like the ideas around who is fit, like the culture of marriage within the royal family, right? It's like this is who you marry and this is why you marry. This type of person. And they had become bound, completely tied up.
There was no movement on
because
it.
wasn't Camilla like part of like
That's
gentry?
What I'm saying. Like they went to
like the same social class.
They were in the same social class. So I still don't understand it to today because I mean, sure, Diana was by virtue of her parents, she still also fit in. But Camilla was literally
because she was a lady.
Camilla was literally one of them.
Yeah.
Like they were all
No, I think what it was is that
going
she was
for polo and whatever.
She was young and naive and a virgin.
Yeah, apparently. She was a princess.
That's
kind of what
when
she
it boils down to it, it's like they were still stuck on very interesting. And I always wonder to what degree people allow culture be a cage unnecessarily. Like, we don't do this. Why don't we do this? But it's just, we don't do this. And because we don't do this, you are going to suffer immense. Like, it didn't make...
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I'm just like, this was so stupid. This was so stupid. Hello, boys and girls. On this podcast, we've spoken a couple of times about trying to figure out what to do with your money, and investing has come up many, many times. A common question is, so how do I know exactly what to do, or a worry about just doing rubbish or not being sure, and it feels like taking too high a risk? Well, if you worry that it is too complicated, it doesn't have to be. So Bamboo has something called a managed portfolio where pros handle that aspect for you. So you don't really have to start second guessing every move you make or every single decision that you are trying to do when it comes to your portfolio. So they will build, manage, and optimize a diversified portfolio that is tailored exactly to your goals. So you're not guessing, you're not under a lot of stress, and it's just kind of smart investing. So what you need to do is open the Bamboo app, tap Manage Portfolio, and enter the amount you want to invest. That's pretty much it. So while you're living your best life and trying to hustle for more money, Bamboo is helping you make smart decisions so you can enjoy said money in multiples in the future. So you know what to do. Download the app, or if you already have the app, open and check out this fantastic new feature. Now, back to the episode. Let's see. Dilemmas.
Yeah.
Okay, this person has an interesting question. My name is Says, guys, sorry, Is it okay for your boyfriend of 1 year not to tell you that his sister is pregnant? He only informs you on the day she delivers the baby. And then your response was, your sister was pregnant. He now says, yes, so we wanted to keep it in the family. This is also not his first time. He's taken certain weighty decisions and actions without informing me in the past as well. I just want to know if I'm overreacting by feeling weird and annoyed by that.
Wait, sorry, repeat that.
Her boyfriend's sister was pregnant. But he only told her the day the baby was born.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Am I a witch?
I think it's not just about the pregnancy, it's about the fact that he just generally doesn't carry her along with anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I get, the thing is, I completely get the context of people you won't tell. How am I one of those people?
I don't know.
As your babe, that your sister is pregnant. I don't get things like that.
The thing is that Fake and I are dramatic enough to be like, I take everything as a sign.
Let me tell you the truth. If I find out that your sister is pregnant on the day she gives birth, that's the day we're breaking up. I know it sounds crazy, but you hate me.
I just take certain things. And if like...
you actually hate me, and...
especially if in the past, it just seems like I find out things.
All of a sudden, yeah. Like you do things. I remember, this was a while ago actually, and... I remember that, so I thought we were all in uni and my friend wasn't in the same uni as her boyfriend. And then it was really weird and random. It wasn't even anything so like extremely crazy, but she was in a uni outside London, but then she was going to work in London. And then we were all just talking about it. And then he just said, oh, he got into Cambridge for a master's. And she said, oh, you applied for master's. And I remember all of us looking like, So he left. And you could see she was just like, so he left. And she was like, you guys, is it just me, or did we all just find out that my boyfriend applied for masters and also got in?
No, let me explain something.
You guys,
you know, some people there are two types of people when it comes to that thing. There's some that are stupid, and then there are some that are somehow. When I say somehow, I am very secretive about things that I have a high propensity to be embarrassed about.
Secretive to your partner?
Yes.
No.
So, for instance, if I didn't, I may not tell you I'm applying to Cambridge in case I don't get in.
Okay, but will you now disclose to me in a house that has six people where we're all hanging out over the weekend? You get very stupid. So
initially he was somehow.
So maybe, okay, I get you did it in secret. That let me just take a chance. I might not get in.
I do that to dates. Do you know how many times I just tell you?
Yeah.
In case.
Okay, no problem. But that it's a bit crazy because we then realized.
What did I start off with? Somehow
she didn't know that he was even considering masters.
Where he became stupid is. No, okay, so the difference is I would have said that I think I'm going to apply for master's degree, but I won't tell you where.
Yeah, I might say that I'm going to apply and then I'll just say, by the way. But it's so crazy for you to have accepted the master's, applied, gotten the offer, and then the whole time is when we're all just gisting and then somebody else mentions masters that you're like, oh yeah, guys.
Speaking of a master.
And what was so crazy to me is she didn't say, oh, you got in. She said you applied for
damn.
master. So the rest of us were just like, wow. This is nice. This is good. We've witnessed the end of this relationship. Lovely. Love that. And I think other people thought that it wasn't that deep. The point is that they broke up. I mean, not in that moment exactly, but that was when I knew that, okay, this cannot work. We're all deceiving ourselves. But I find things like that to be a bit crazy. I don't know how to explain it. I just think I don't know. I just think, let me tell you what it is. What's the point of being together if you cannot tell me you're applying to Cambridge? And start not telling your friends. Though. If I'm doing girlfriend, boyfriend with somebody, again, at my big age.
But what did I tell you about being shy?
Chola, there's shy and then there's lying.
No, 100% I agree with you, but I just think sometimes I get it when people are. But what made him even more foolish is the fact that he just sprung it up in front of all those other people.
No, the thing is that he wasn't even saying it like, I remember somebody else said that, they want to do, like they're tired of being in the north. They're going to try and do a master's in London.
Oh, okay.
And he was trying to him like, oh yeah, like I'm actually like I got in, like I've accepted the offer. I'm going to Cambridge for my master's.
That is crazy.
All of us were
the fact
like,
that she didn't know that he was even thinking of doing a
it was
master's
said
is
so
crazy.
casually that it wasn't like a big announcement. It was just we were literally all sitting in the living room of someone's house and we were gisting. And he just said it, and immediately she said, "You applied for masters," as in his girlfriend of
That's
like
crazy,
3
Sha.
years. I said, "Eh? So what do people discuss exactly?"
That's crazy.
That's when she now realized that, oh, okay, he doesn't rate me. That's fine.
Let me tell you something about Nigerian women. I say it all the time. We achieve.
They achieve.
We achieve.
They always achieve. Now, there are a couple of babes who are once again doing what? Achieving.
Yep.
It's the gals from Bolden.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm, mhm.
You know, always we put you on. And I don't think you guys are like catching what
They don't appreciate it.
They don't. But now we're putting you on. We've been using and trying out some products from Bolden. What do you like?
I love their dark spots fix. My enemies have been at work. And the Bolden lady said, "Don't worry, jolly baby. We got you."
Got you.
So I like their dark spot fix. I don't use that every night. I use it like every 3 nights. But what I really, really like and I use every single night is their cleanser, like the face wash. It's very gentle. It doesn't have like a strong scent and it does what it's supposed to do. It's not stripping too. Like, you know how your face, sometimes you use something, then your face is not really dry. It's not really dry. No. It does what it's supposed to do. It's lovely, smells great, doesn't have any
all these weird things.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I use because these days I like to like feel like I'm into skincare.
Take me, please.
So the thing is, I use the eye patches because then you walk around. I make a point to walk around everywhere with the eye patches. Like I'm planning to step out because they're gold and so it's a vibe. I'm planning to actually step out with the eye patches to like, somewhere. Anyway, my dark circles are like going down and I'm quite enjoying.
Oh, I love to hear that.
So you're just supposed to use it like once, twice. That's not how I use it, but that's how you're supposed to use it. And also the glow hydrating mask. Again, if
Why
you
are
really
you saying
want
it like that? What's the
because
glow?
the glow hydrating mask. I feel like that's the feeling you get. Glow hydrating mask. Okay, it's because you don't know.
Okay,
but if you want to feel like you're really doing skincare, you're applying things. You know when your face, you know all those skincare videos where your face is now like glowy, dewy. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
When you've done it, that's how I feel.
Okay.
I have a glow. There's like a light on me, like a halo.
Okay.
That comes out naturally. I promise you, use this thing, you'll see the halo. Your character might be bad. I have a great character. So the halo is there for me. And the glow hydrating mask is just shining on.
Yeah.
Okay?
But they have a great collection of products. Those are the ones we've used and
I'm excited
loved
to like try.
to try more back.
Yeah.
But we want to hear what you think, what you like, what's working for you. We also love the fact that these are 2 Nigerian American women. Fun fact, they went to school together.
Really?
Lost touch, did MBAs, and then married brothers.
Oh, wow. You see, doing things.
Achievements on many fronts.
Many fronts. Everybody's just involved. We love to see it.
Exactly.
Anyway, buy Bolden, use Bolden. Bye.
Okay, so someone actually just did a follow-up. I know this episode is coming a bit later, but someone gave some helpful information from Toyosi's episode
Okay.
about hearing. So the person says, helpful info per hearing inclusion episode. Hi, my darlings. Just listening to the last episode, I almost choked when FK said everyone moved to my right when she heard about the price of hearing aids, because that's exactly what my dad does.
Stop.
His left side hearing is almost gone, and even his right takes considerable voice raising and gesticulating. Decided to do a proper test recently at a general hospital and just felt to share info about pricing in case anyone needs it. Audiology test costs 10K. Hearing aid test costs 30K. The hearing aids for both ears will cost $1,100 at 1,625 naira per dollar. This also includes measurement to get the right size for you. Then 73K for fitting after you've gotten the aids. While it's still not cheap, I guess it adds more perspective. And FK, sorry about your stupid driver. Call me, let me go and remove his teeth. I'm not a man, but he could jam. That's all.
Thank you so much. I got many offers of
that
people.
Also, it's not Israel, oh.
Please,
you guys should please calm down.
I saw someone tweeting, Joe.
This is our community and they're always adding 2 + 2 to make 8. I don't understand.
Guys, I saw so many people. My friends are sending me so many different things that, is this what happened? I said, my dear.
It's not Israel. Israel works for FK. She not say he is a driver.
Please. He doesn't do driving work, actually. He doesn't do any driving whatsoever, apart from his own personal vehicle. Okay? So please, no, many people offered me many different ways to make the driver's life hell, which I deeply appreciated. But that's still crazy. $1,100, that's like 1.8 million all told.
Yeah.
And that's in a
general
general hospital.
Keep in
also,
mind.
sorry, what's general hospital? I guess is imported because I'm like, what does dollars have to do with it?
Because it's imported, probably. Yeah. Is that
again,
definitely.
This is really crazy.
That what?
1.8 million.
For hearing aids, right?
Then you'll be saying rubbish. So after I've paid all this, just imagine on the first day that you've gotten your hearing aids, some rubbish is what you're yarning with me. No, a lot of people are, there's been a lot of interesting feedback on this episode.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I think a lot of people are just like, wow. I saw a lot of sentiments of, these people why I left the country based on, I get that. I didn't think about a lot of things.
We also have another one that has to do with disability.
Okay.
This is so interesting. So this person calls themselves A.A. Says, hi, Jola and F.K. Your episode about the deaf community inspired me to talk about my story. My husband and I have been married for 3 years and we've lived in Texas for a year. We grew a new community of friends pretty quickly, which I was very happy about until I started noticing some things. For some context, my husband is disabled. He uses a wheelchair because he has little to no mobility in his legs after an accident a couple of years back. Now, my dilemma is that our friends are treating my husband like a toy. Sometimes they come up to him and push him around in his chair like he's some shopping cart, or they pull him away from conversations and roll him across the room, laughing about it like it's some sort of joke. I find it incredibly disrespectful considering the fact that my husband and I are older than a lot of these people. He laughs it off and behaves like it doesn't bother him when they do it, but I still think it's somehow. I've tried to have conversations with him about it, but he brushes it off and tells me it's not that serious. I don't know what to do because I feel like they only come around us when they want to have a good laugh and use my husband for jokes. Do I distance myself from the friends we've been able to make or stand my ground and continue pointing out this behavior? Or is it all in my head and it really isn't that serious?
Is that serious, sir? How can constantly my husband be the butt of the joke because he's disabled?
Do you know what I think? I think it might be in her head.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why?
Think of how Bolu and Femi play.
Okay, fair, but if it was that, won't you recognize it?
Yes. No, let me explain what it is. There's sometimes something, if her husband was unhappy about it.
That's the problem. So my next question was, no, she said, is your husband upset?
He's not. And he has told her to free it, that they are playing. And let me explain
so then they're playing.
There's something about losing your physicality.
Yeah.
That sometimes mean, the reason why he might be brushing it off is that he might feel you're treating him like he's fragile.
Yeah, and they are treating him like...
And they are playing with him the way they can.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, you know how people push each other? Or like how sometimes people can... I'm thinking of this in the context of how a lot of our guy friends behave.
Literally, last Sunday, they were playing to such an extent that if you walked in that moment, you would think that there was a fight happening. Because of the level of Eripa.
These men are in their 30s.
I'm not joking. These are actually highly functioning men. So
serious jobs.
They do wear suits. If you see the way two of them were almost carrying one, playing.
Rough play. And sometimes I think some of those things is it could be again, so I'm not saying that it might be there could be elements of disrespect, but there might be something of wanting to include someone in something that you worry that you're keeping them out of because you're treating them as fragile. So, for instance, I remember how, what's his name? Cobhams used to talk about his friends when he was younger. Like his mom couldn't stand to watch them play because they used to play so rough. So his friends would teach him how to jump over the gutter.
Yeah.
This is a blind boy, by the way. Right? Or they would just... And some of the things he would say, my first instinct would be to be like, what?
What? Yeah, but so if you think about it...
Yeah, so there's a time...
If we're all jumping over the gutter, why won't my friend jump over the gutter?
And even when they became adults, when he met his wife, and so he introduced them, when they left, his guys now said, she's ugly. That God save you, say you no get eye. And I said, that's why I know you like her. You're jealous. You want me to dump her so you can date her. That kind of stuff. I think when it comes to some things, there is anxiety about... you are seeing it as, no, my husband is not a toy. Why would you be so disrespectful?
And he's seeing it as one
they're
of the
involving
boys.
me.
Yeah,
I'm
like
one of the boys.
But I hope it is that and not that thing where it's like, don't say anything because at least I have friends.
Yeah, so that's what you need to check.
Yeah.
But I do know that my instincts a lot of the time, like even when some of my guy friends play with their kids, I say how they stop when their wives come. And even the children understand that mommy just doesn't, they love
She doesn't
the rough
get
play,
it.
but mommy doesn't like it, so they're free. So sometimes I think your instincts might be also, if you bring it in as an age thing, you are definitely going to miss out.
Oh, for sure.
I promise you.
Don't
that
bother
you're going
with
to be
that.
the Agbayanti. They're going to be like,
don't bother with that. You've come again now, big mommy.
They'll just slowly, like, I know how I react when if I am warm with someone and they try to bring in the age thing.
Just free it.
I will free
So
it.
I think you can say, but I think if your husband is also saying, listen, it's fine, then unless it crosses a line, I'm not sure that I would press.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I would now press in.
Yeah. So but you should also just say that you can tell your husband that you won't bring it up again. Or you just want to make sure. Because sometimes you feel somehow about it and you want to make sure that it's not just you being somehow. Is he okay? He shouldn't lie. Or is this a worry he has that if they say, please, you guys should chill on some of the Erekpa, they won't come around anymore or something like that. You can just ask that gently, but I would like to give the benefit of the doubt to people wanting to make sure that he feels included, not that they kind of just
I think I would just check that. Is this me being overly cautious and agitated, or is there actually a problem?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. There are. Okay. I think this one is interesting. We've had this for a while. I think I'm going to read. Okay. We haven't had one of these in a while.
Okay.
VP of the Say No to Men That Vape Cam. Meanwhile, there have been a lot of posters about vaping leading to lung disease. So we are always
ahead
on
of
the trend. So now you know. We already said it anyway. Hi, FK Jola and guests. I'm a big fan of the podcast and love listening to you guys yap. I'm in my early 20s and working full time. Do you guys have any tips for making friends as an adult? A lot of my friends are scattered all over the world, Canada, Lagos, etc. My circle in London is so small and it makes me sad sometimes. I'm introverted and I like being at home. So for the most part, I'm fine. It would be nice to have a group to do things with consistently though, but I don't know how to get that. I love hearing your Sunday gathering stories and want something similar for myself. Any advice would be much appreciated. Please don't tell me to use an app. Is there an app for that?
Yeah, there's like Bumble Friends.
Do people actually use Bumble Friends? Because I think people are lying.
People use them. TikTok. On TikTok, I love that.
Really?
Yes,
Bumble Friends.
I've never found friends on Hinge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never
housemates.
I know there's Bumble Friends, but I've never
because it's only sex,
No, it's because I don't know anyone that uses Bumble for friendship purposes. They use it for rubbish purposes.
Fair. I do. I wasn't going to say that. I
was never going to suggest using an app, but maybe. Look, the thing is, if you told me you're in Lagos, I'll tell you to definitely not use anything Bumble Friends, please. But I think somewhere like London, it could work because things are so spread out.
I will say, like, start developing community-based hobbies.
Yeah, I think
because
that's the best way.
When my brother wanted to make a bit more friends, he started thinking of the stuff he cares about. So he became more active in his church.
Yeah.
So Bolu started working at church, met a lot of people.
Yeah.
Him and Jeremy met a lot of people that way. Then my brother has always liked like going to the gym. He joined a running club.
Yeah.
He made a lot of friends. And then a lot of stuff was also like making it clear to friends he had made that, like if you guys are hanging out, like I'd love to meet your friends. He wasn't awkward about it. And he met a lot of people that way in Manchester. So I do think sometimes when we say stepping out of your comfort zone, friends don't come to you. Once you're past like 25, friendships
they don't just magically happen because you're not walking into a classroom and then there's a bunch of people there. And also work friends are not the same as like
fundamentally, British culture is also very, very different.
Yeah.
Like when I stay with my friend in London, I realize how an organized society organizes your life for you.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, in that you slowly start to feel like gentle friendship nudges and imposition. Great example. Most 9-to-5ers have a 1 hour commute is considered a long commute, right? So you get home around 6:30.
So you also know when you're leaving.
Yes.
Like most people will go on this train or this train or this sort of thing.
Yeah, and so most people are getting home roughly around the same time, and they've gotten into a routine. I don't overthink messaging FK on a weekday evening to be like, guy, how far are you at home?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. Though I realize that those things slowly feel like an imposition abroad. Even with my friends that live abroad, I find myself overly...
when I go to London, the catching up is so much more scheduled than here, where it's like, where are you?
Yeah, and also like how just a bit more casual, and it doesn't feel like I'm wasting time or anything. So I think you might want to start that way. What are things you like? Do you like cooking? Do you like walking? Like I saw this woman who started a women who walk club in London, and it blew up because people wanted to exercise.
People actually also want to do things together,
Yes, and people became friends through it and stuff, and people read together. There are libraries all over. People join book clubs.
Yeah.
And you may not make friends with everybody, but you start to develop...
I think so.
Like
I think hobbies... I've been really thinking a lot about hobbies and like clubs. I think, especially adults, I think these things are really fun, and you will... I mean, Run Club is a very good one, but I know people that have joined the randomest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just give the easy ones.
Yeah, one of my friends goes to like an old film club where they watch like, as in all these Audrey Hepburn. They anything past, I don't know what year, you can't see it there. But all these like classic old, all this Casablanca, one thing. They all go there, and then they do these random dress ups. All of a sudden, they've worn all these 20s garments. They've gone here. Look, it's a choice, okay? But they do it. And then another friend is learning how to play chess, but they're in like a little chess group where they drink. It's sip and chess, sip and something.
Yeah.
But instead of sip and paints, they are drunk and they're playing chess, which makes the whole thing very nonsense. Anyway, most of them are losing.
Yeah. So when we went to Dublin, there was someone that we met in a mall, and she started this professionals for something, and they were just a lot of them. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. So there are ways to make friends. It just feels longer than it is.
It's weird. It also feels weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea that I've been toying with it. So, I spend all my time listening to podcasts about people doing big things. Like this morning, I was listening to a podcast about a guy who is building, like basically trying to do Concorde again. Obviously, waiting concern supersonic jets. But it was fascinating to know that there are people who this is their concern in life. Anyway, this is my thing, what I want to do. I want to do like a founders club or like an entrepreneurs club.
Okay.
So one of the guys who has they have this thing called Hamptons. And then there's all these like YP, is it YPU? There's a really popular one like abroad, all these clubs, that you basically, you have a membership, and then what happens is most of them work like this. You have like a core group, which is either by industry or by maybe level of business, that sort of thing. And there's like 6 to 8 of you. And whenever you gather, there's some sort of coach. So maybe today the financial coach. And essentially, it's almost like you people go there, and each month or however often you meet up, you're all just basically pouring everything out. And it's like a very specific type of business support that you might. So obviously I talk to my friends about work, I think, but it's very different when I sit with somebody else who maybe has a factory. For example, the way we're going back and forth is very different from if I say, oh, my staff stressing me, you say your staff stressing me. Do you know what I mean? It's very interesting anyway. And that's what I want to do. But I don't know if will you join?
What?
The club.
Why? Why?
Do you not just hear what I said about the benefits? So that most people are doing business as in they're the owner of the business by themselves. So that you have camaraderie, friends.
That's why I don't own any business alone. I don't
Okay,
do
you
it.
and the John.
Are you sure you want both of us in that place?
Oh my God. You'll be in separate
No
places.
problem. We'll be there.
Eh?
We'll be there now.
That's what I mean, but this is what I want to do.
I know.
And I'm trying to
now.
think, that's what I'm saying, but I'm trying to think about how, so for context, the one that let me tell you what's funny. I applied.
For what?
The Hamptons.
Okay.
Let me tell you the criteria. You have to either have raised $3 million or sold your business for $10 million or something else concerning $1 million. Sha. I could go wrote there. Hey, I have a good personality. Okay. I can bring what they call banter and all that to the group. So let's see how that goes. But this is my point where I feel like a lot of my friends who have businesses were always lamenting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because everyone is in their little corner off doing different things. And the way people do it, Sha, you shall basically learn off of different types of businesses. That's what I'm going to do, Sha, you people. So if you're interested, you do let me know. Maybe I should have a web page. That's what I'm going to do. What should we call it?
Girl, who the hell is we?
I thought you were coming.
No, I'll be there.
Hey, so we're naming it
as a
now.
staff. Rejoice.
It's not a church choir.
Is that not what we're doing? We're rejoicing in the business.
No, we're like helping each other.
Okay. Ho.
Oh?
Helping others each.
I should call the business club Ho.
Yes.
You don't think that might have alternative connotations?
No.
Or people in Agric.
Yeah, exactly. They're
who
hard
think
workers.
that it might be farming
Exactly.
convention.
Okay, fine. Hose. Plural.
Sorry? What's this?
As in we are multiple, so that they know it's many of us.
I don't know if you should come.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Why you know her when she invited me? She
No,
begged.
no.
You guys were watching while she begged.
Let me tell you something. I think the inaugural group, you won't be there.
No, don't worry.
That's actually what
I'm not invested, actually.
What I think is that maybe your temperament is not akin.
No,
Should I tell you my problem? Actually, let me tell you mine. Because they did like a round. So I watched it and people in the community were saying how it's really helpful because they feel like this small group, obviously they're not friends, but in a business context, they're supporters and everybody has their own different. So they learn different things. You are doing this business, but everything is confidential. So they can come and say, oh, this is my friend. Let me tell you my problem with Nigerians and my
never
fear.
Be confidential.
I don't think you can say certain things.
So, I mean, somebody will literally be like, you guys, so I'm in a business group, right? And we help each other. You will think you're having problems till you really hear what others are going through. So one guy, they'll basically,
That's
Nigerians
my problem. So how can it work if there's no level of like confidentiality in your group?
That's the only thing I actually worry about.
That's actually my main reason why I'm like, I don't know that this can work because they'll go and tell everybody your main problem.
Yeah.
And without that, what was really the intimacy that you're paying for? So their point is all these courses and everything, they're general. But if it's like today is you people's financial coach and everybody's able to say, okay, but this is my specific problem. If you now come into the group, how do I know that tomorrow they say, have you seen, if you see what Debbie is facing, you can't believe it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was doing so well.
Also because
Actually, any small thing that happens now, that business has closed.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a good thing to worry about.
I don't know. Okay. But did we answer the thing about friends? Yes. I think we said you should.
Yes.
You should do the clubs and groups. What other clubs would you join?
Apart from a book club.
Yes. Which I'm joining anyway.
Please don't do that.
I'm going to join. I'm coming to the next Happy Noisemakers. Do we have to read the book
We're
before?
Not doing again.
Before
it's actually closed.
Sorry. Do we read the book before the Zoom?
We are illiterate.
Are there questions?
We don't have. We don't do it.
I want to join I want to start reading.
He's not around.
So I want to be reading.
He's not, please. It's not good. It's not good.
What's the book of the month?
Bible. You don't have.
Are you people in the club? What's the book of the month? Also, do we have to read like the whole thing before the meeting? Or just like, If
Don't
I read like the
worry.
first 3 chapters, then
Okay,
somebody
we've already
else.
done the one for this
Wait,
month.
now I have an idea.
It's to June.
I have an idea. I'm going to check it.
Oh my God.
I have an idea. Let me tell you my idea. If I read chapter 1 to 3,
Oh my God.
then somebody else reads 3 to 4. Then somebody, do you get? We can now, each person can now say their own. Is that how they do
We've
it?
already done the meeting this year.
No, I'm checking.
It's the next year.
I'm actually checking.
2026.
Book of the month,
Oh,
May.
God.
Allow me to introduce myself. Yeah. I can get behind this.
No, you can't. It's not nice there.
I'm reading it.
Oh my God.
Someone said, I just bought this book. Let me ask her if I can borrow it.
Oh my God. Get me, please.
So if people don't do, because I can't see any comments saying, please, who has this book? And I personally, so I have to buy the book.
Get me, please don't join this thing.
I want to be part.
No.
Okay, when is
You
the
won't
meeting?
like it, don't worry.
When is the meeting?
August 2027.
Do they announce it? They do announce it. It's there. It's on the page. It's Zoom.
Yes.
Zoom. I have Zoom.
Oh my God.
I do have Zoom. I'm joining.
Hey.
So where do I buy the book?
Don't worry.
I'm going to buy the book.
Oh God.
Do you have it? Can I borrow it?
No, leave me.
See you guys there. When is it? May ending. Okay, there's no dates about the book.
I told you
Allow
2025.
me to introduce myself. Sure. Her life, what's this again? Her rules, finally. Good. So, it's good. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Now, as you know, we help people on this podcast. That's
Yes.
actually our primary function. We are benevolent queens. We give great advice, just nuggets of wisdom.
Yep.
And a lot of you ask, how can you get involved? How can you submit your issue? Tell them.
It's very simple. So wherever you're listening to this, in the description box, you literally see where you can submit your dilemma. Or you can go to our website, podcast.com, and see where you can submit your dilemmas. It's very simple. You literally just finish listening to the dilemmas or watching them. I know something is choking you. I want to say my own.
You want to say
I
your
want to
own.
tell
You
them.
want to
I
write.
must.
So please feel so free.
Yeah.
Feel so free.
We're here for you.
Thank you so much.
Back to the episode.
Bye. What made you choose it?
I thought, first of all, I like the author. I've read a book by her before. And I thought it would be an interesting, so it's about a former child star. Like her stepmom kind of turned her into like the superstar child vlogger. And when she finally decided she wasn't going to do anymore, she's realizing that her mom she's about to start trying to do it with her younger sister. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. But I thought it would be interesting given like a lot of the conversation about having your kids on camera and how much of children being vloggers is actually work and to what degree their parents are kind of exploiting them and whatnot. Because I'm really interested in seeing over the next like decade or so, I think we're going to see so many former kiddie vloggers coming to be like, it was hell. We couldn't, because there's one I saw and the girl's whole thing was, it literally was like listening to somebody who became a child star and their parents no longer really cared about their well-being. One was talking about how private moments, like your mom would just be like, the title of the video would be like, oh my God, my baby has grown up, something gets her first period. It's like, what?
That's really insane.
Yeah, or that you can't have just normal things happen at home. Everything is content. And your parents are literally telling you to cry on camera or...
Like you're 4 or 5 and like every single thing. I saw some video on YouTube and it was about like, basically the boy had a tantrum before when they were, I don't know where they were. They were somewhere public and it was an event and the boy had a tantrum and she recorded it. And then it was about basically what they've done so that now when he has tantrums, how they deal with it. And to me, I was just like, I've just watched a small boy have a tantrum 2 times on camera. And now that, as in, I was just like, this is really weird stuff that's going on because this boy is clearly like He wasn't even throwing a silly. He was having a hard time, and they were doing all this. So these are the methodologies, and I just thought, wow. When this boy grows up and watch, I don't think he's gonna be that happy.
Yeah,
about
I think
the situation.
so. I do just feel, and kiddie channels with children in them make
They're
much
so
money.
popular.
They're so popular, and there's a reason why people. So do you guys, whoever followed, Nikki and Jamie,
Yeah, I did.
Australian,
Before they
really
broke
dark
up.
skin, before they broke up, and it was very
That
messy.
year, I used to watch them on YouTube.
It was super messy. Their breakup was super messy, but I remember that her main thing that she wanted was she told the judge to restrict how much Jamie's able to put them on the channel.
Yeah.
Right. Her channel is very, very, she can post once every 3 months or whatever. And I have gone back to look. First of all, Jamie's channel. So when they had the joint vlog, because he kept the vlog.
Yeah.
They have over 1 million.
It was very popular.
Maybe 30,000 views, 40,000 views. If the children are there, it gets to 100. But family vloggers, kiddie vloggers and stuff, very, very big market. But it's it's a please
And
don't
it
come to the
feels
book club,
weird
but it's a good
when
book.
it's like, so I want to just point out something. See this question that I just asked and the conversation. If I'm in the book club, is this not what we do? What do
No.
people do there?
No.
I'm sure you don't ask insightful questions.
Okay, it's true.
Actually,
Which
see
is
the
why
conversation.
it's not up to the caliber of your brain.
See
so
the
don't come.
conversation we just had now, and that's just about
You are
what the
too
book is
smart
about.
for
Imagine
it.
if we get into this line,
No,
this
no,
chapter.
no, no,
Anyway,
no.
I'm going to read chapter
We're very
one,
dull there.
1 to
Please don't
3,
come.
and I'm coming about that. You people read the
We're
rest.
always talking about BBL.
I like
That's always-
BBL.
Oh God.
I'm
Please
into
don't
BBL.
come. Don't come.
Actually. So I'll be in the book club. Anyway,
Wow.
I haven't seen this thing, but there's something called Kidfluencers on Netflix, and this conversation is making me. You've seen it, Abby. This conversation is making me interested in watching it. I didn't watch it for this specific reason. I was like, again, I know the documentary is about ruining the lives of children, but also this documentary also ruining the lives of the children in the documentary talking about ruining the lives
Also,
of
I
children.
think, is it California that is now making it like, I think you have to pay the kid or whatever. Bruh, come and see how family vloggers are now moving to Texas. This is so crazy. You just see, let's say the ruling came out on Monday. The next vlog, hi guys, we're moving to Texas. Hi guys, we're moving
But
to
you know,
upstate
those
New York. I
things,
say,
do you think
"Hey."
there's somebody in the family saying, I hope you guys are putting money aside for this child?
No, and that's the reason.
Because they are using all this
No.
money for lifestyle.
No, because their life changes and they think of it as we're just being. So I think the thing that means children need protection from their own parents. Do you remember that? What's his name? Was his name Gary something? Was that his name? This young black boy. He was an actor in like the 70s or something.
Yeah, the
And
one
his
that did the
parents-
show that had it had Tia and Tamara and it had Bill Cosby. That guy.
No.
Okay,
he
no.
was before them.
Wrong person.
But he's the reason why it legally, like I think because of him, the law changed and a certain amount of
What happened
percentage.
to him?
His parents blew all his money. He was like a top 10 paid actor, period. By the time he became an adult, he realized his parents had blown
He didn't have
all
anything
his money.
left.
And he didn't have an acting career. He was a child star. Like he wasn't somebody that was able to grow into an actor.
Yeah.
His parents blew all his money.
Do you know how resentful I would be for the rest of my life that I managed to make money when I was young, that if you had even put a little bit aside, the money would have just...
Yeah. I think there's something about getting money quite young that is so...
It's very jarring.
It's so
and I
jarring.
think
And
that,
it's so crazy.
honestly, it's very, very, very difficult to manage it, both for the person, the child, and the parents. I think
Yep.
it's very, very difficult to come out of that situation grounded. That's why it didn't happen to me.
1. 2, it also, again, depends on the parents. You guys know Lion King, the first one, the cartoon. The boy who voices Simba while he's young and sang, he's black. First of all, his mom did a back-end deal for him. And second, she put all the money away. As in, he literally, when he turned 18, he found out that he doesn't have to work a day in his life because of the deal his mom made for him. And I just thought it takes so much sense of self and discipline and I don't know, it takes a lot more than, because people like to say stuff about how selfless parents are, but there's a type of money that genuinely is like an evil spirit.
Yeah, it is. Like
It will-
it consumes you, and the problem is you can't. I watched this thing about. It wasn't even really like a proper documentary. It's one of these things where like you're on YouTube and someone just did one. You know, people take it upon themselves.
Yeah.
They just did one 20, 30-minute video. But anyway, it was about the percent. I can't remember what percentage it was. Please, you go and look for it on YouTube as well. But it was about the number of people who won the lottery, and they did. I think they did 5 years later and they did 10 years later. But it wasn't them that went to ask them, but they just found their interviews. Almost by 5 years, first of all, most of like 8% of all the money was gone. By 10 years, I think out of the like 12 people they looked at, only 2 still had money.
Anything.
But they still had the money of if they had a high paying job, not very, very high paying, or maybe they were on like in America, the equivalent of now an 80 to 100K salary.
What?
Not like somebody
Not
who is
250.
making. And they just had plenty big things in their house. Big things, cars, this one, that one. But you know, Americans, they financed everything. It was crazy. And these people won millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Millions.
I think there's just something to
Plus
be
the
said
ones
for-
that won everything at once. Plus the ones that they did over time. All of them blew. Because what would happen is the people that were paid yearly or monthly or whatever, they would spend the money and everybody knows that the money is coming, so they're good for it. So like now, maybe you're getting X amount at the beginning of the year or X amount each month. When you go to buy the car, there's record that you won Euro millions. So, or, you know, whatever states jackpots that you won. And so nobody's dragging the money with you. They know the money is coming. So they've given you this thing on credit, but you've not calculated that you finance this thing and interest is adding.
And you finance it really badly.
You
because
finance it really badly. So
Yeah.
by the time it comes, it's actually far more expensive than you imagine. And then people are so one of them, their financial advisor ruined them because the guy...
Where do they get said financial advisor?
I don't know, they should got financial advisor. That one now clocked that this person has no idea about anything to
and
do
just
with
started
money.
stealing.
And they weren't even stealing, they started charging them fees for every single thing.
Yeah.
Just imagine me saying I'm investing your money, but almost like every one I invest, you give me
2.
You give me 0.1 of it. So I'm just getting richer and richer and richer. You don't know what I'm doing, no.
Yeah, it's really...
it was really terrible.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't know. I think it's interesting to see... there's a basketballer, I think, that people kind of... I can't remember what the storyline was. I need to find it. Basically, the story is that he doesn't have an agent, right? Something crazy. He's either a basketballer or in the NFL. I think he's in basketball. And so he ends up having a conversation. So they find him a bit abrasive. I don't know what the term was, but this is the gist of the story. This guy is just like, because you don't need an agent. And everyone's like, what do you mean? Like, agents are a whole big thing. They were like, he was like, you just trust your lawyer. He then says, like we're in a union, right? Like all the basketballers are in a union.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we paid the union. So he just went to the union with his contract.
I had no idea. First of all, I didn't know NBA players had a union.
He was like, yo, everything you need, we paid these guys already. And they are really, really good. Like they are really, really good. Like he said everything, his health insurance, his everything, that he just realized a lot of stuff that he was paying extra for, he didn't need to. And it's clear, I don't know if I am projecting, but it's clear that somebody sat this boy down. And they were like, you're lucky, but it's highly unlikely you're going to be one of the greatest. But let's even imagine that you only have a good 1 year of playing with this type of salary. What something happens to your leg? What if you smoke weed one day and run mad? I don't know. Like, you have to act like he is so unfazed.
Everything.
He's just like, no, I don't. Like, he kept saying, you don't need it. And you know that this, you know how like everything in America is like high entertainment. So the pundit is kind of trying to joking, and he's just like, yeah, nah. Like,
you know that I just realized I actually don't know like what the core job of a sports agent is versus maybe their manager. I actually have no idea, but I can see it. First of all, I didn't even know they were unionized or anything.
Exactly.
Like that.
So he was like, like everybody talks to him like he's stupid. It's not that he's doing things on his own. he's just
Can't
not
be that stupid.
paying premium on
for
every
the
single
same
thing.
I think there's a lot that there's a lot of things people take for granted of you're supposed to do this that I
He
think
also
we
knew
don't.
the start too.
Yeah, that we don't fundamentally question.
He said
when you're supposed
70%
to.
3 years after something.
For sure.
He knew all the numbers that, bruh, I'm not going to be one of them.
See, I honestly think there's something about as in collecting money once,
Big money.
like that is just I think because it's not natural, there is very little chance that you're going to respond in the right way. So I was listening to another podcast where it's called Money Wise. They interview people who have money. And it's really weird.
Sorry, guys, if I leave this there's a fly here that's really upsetting
there
me.
is.
So just bear with
that
me.
was
If
why
my
I was
eyes are
trying
moving
to
up and down.
say that you should spray it, but maybe it came back. Anyway, the guy was saying that when he got his contract at maybe 17 or 18, I think it was football, not basketball. I don't remember.
Those ones are like...
If you people listen to the...
Sorry, that one is like slave trade.
Yeah,
though.
if you listen to the
Football,
money... If you
American
listen to the
football,
Money
wow.
Wise, you go and check. Anyway, guess what? He now said that, and the thing is, it wasn't because he had any great insight, but he was kind of so afraid. For the first 2 years, he didn't spend the money. He just gave himself a normal, as in I think his allowance was like 2K or whatever for rent, food. And he was playing, normal. So parents were even angry. Nobody, he just left the money like savings. Because he was like, I don't know what to do. And until I figure out what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So he just puts it where he knows that it's earning interest. And he was now saying in hindsight, that is the thing that's completely changed everything for him because then what happened was he now started to earn interest. And then he could spend the interest knowing that
at least the base is
still there. And so things like that started to go on where, because he just realized that actually I won't die if I don't ball out. And he was like, that realization just made him be like, wait, so I have maybe 5 or 6 good years. Like I'm 18, 19, whatever. I don't know how long I'm going to have. Again, he's not the greatest, but he was good. So he just clocked that instead of some of his teammates, as in bought a Lamborghini on the day. On the day the check came, they bought the car, they did this and that. And the problem was he was saying once you start that, it's difficult to stop because there's so much money. Also, remember a lot of these sports guys, if you're paying for ball, you're getting paid every week. The frequency of the payments is so much that...
Something happens with footballers.
Yeah, they're getting paid every month. It's crazy. And it is crazy. So he was just saying that. And I kept thinking to myself, do you know I can never do that?
Or put yourself
1 year? If I hear that I did not... Discipline, sure. But if I hear that, as in, I can see that much money and I just leave it because I'm like, actually, let it get out of my system. Let me know that the money said nothing can happen to me. And he was like, he really needs to force himself to be like, you can't die if you don't spend this money.
Do you know something else that I was thinking about? And it was because I was talking to a friend of ours about this and I can't remember what we were talking about. And I just said, oh no. Okay, it was about, it now ended up being a thing about having to do something for family or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's not my experience at all. Like, I just don't need to. Like, I'm privileged enough that that's not something that I have to. And then I can't remember what we ended up arguing about. He was like, no, now. So I called my mom and I was like, oh, if I had XYZ, what would you expect me to do? The first thing she was like, have you paid your tithe? I was like, yes. She was like, and we'll put like 70% in savings. And then you can do what you want with the remaining 30%. And then she now joked about me having to buy her a bag and maybe my dad a pair of shoes. And he just kept, when my mom called the phone, he was like, that if his mother knows he has that kind of money, I don't think it is so over. He said it is, and this is the thing, that his mom is a wonderful woman.
Yeah, she will collect.
He said not only will she collect, her sisters are coming with her. Her dad's siblings that the woman likes are coming.
It's so funny because I find I have the opposite problem. Whenever birthdays and such come, I'm like, oh, will I use my small money to buy these people?
Yeah.
Every time mommy sees her present, it's always cute. She's
Yeah, just lovely. This is so mindful.
So cute.
So mindful.
So thoughtful
So
of you
thoughtful,
guys. You can't buy, what do we always buy? A
So
candle,
thoughtful, yeah.
spa trip, because all the things she wants, who can afford it?
Who?
Who wants to afford it with you? So I don't know. It's an interesting reality because I'm like, my family members have never called me that I should pay for.
Also,
I can't even pay.
So even in terms of like just, there's also like different types of expectations. Yeah. So there's something to be said for, I mean, we're talking about, it was even in terms of entertainment.
Yeah.
We're talking about how you can see the difference when a person's family is educated.
Yeah.
And when and if the family was comfortable before they started making music, and then they became successful. And I was like, what do you mean?
There's a way they treat
there's a way
the
person also is calmer around money. And so because of that, because they are looking for money to not just fix it for themselves, for the whole family, there is an urgency, eagerness. You're always rushing to the bar, basically. I just thought that was really, really interesting. So imagine if that person is now a breadwinner as a child. Like your family, of course, they're going to exploit you.
For sure. And people, even if you're well intentioned, it's just the temptation is too much. Also, the person is a child; they can't make decisions.
Yeah,
like you're actually, when someone is a literal, like this person is 9, you have to make decisions for them.
Yeah,
and so I think sometimes people forget that it's their money.
Yeah. Also, the older I am now, the older I get, the more I realize how brave artists who fire their parents as their managers were.
Yeah, it's very scary. Because
it's very scary. One, it's also weird because you're putting your parents out of like nobody else is hiring them as a manager. Let's be frank. Like nobody else is going to be like, maybe apart from Matthew, Beyonce's dad, nobody's really going to be like, they're
not necessarily qualified for that. Yeah.
And so once you fire them from that, you change the nature of the relationship because now they're asking for what they were
they're your
earning.
Dependents.
Yeah, they're asking for what they were earning before, right? So I've always thought about it and I've always wondered if you then realize like as good as your parents were, maybe they were a bit dodgy here or there. Like will you just free it?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll free it.
I won't free it.
I'll free it 100%.
I can never free it.
If by the time I go through the books, I realize like maybe I'm looking at like 20M. But there's an extra 6 or 7 that's not here. I'll free it.
I can never free it. Because it's very jarring. Like, I don't know if you've seen all those things about Whitney finding out how her family is stealing. See, it's crazy, because
I know.
Especially because for family, I think...
Hello, boys and girls. So we need you to actually, do the needful and subscribe. Like, share with everybody. Share with your crush. Your mom, your grandpa. Thanks. Love ya.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like things like that, like when I watch or see that Whitney found out her family was stealing from her, I think I would lose my mind, to be honest.
No, so what I'm saying is...
Especially because I would have given you...
No, so they did a good job.
They didn't do a good job if you stole.
Hold on. They did a good job. I'm asking like practically, you did a good job. You now have $20 million. But when you ask for an audit, you see that there's 3 or 4 that's missing.
Why did you not just put it there clearly? I'm saying, you know why? Because you could have earned the $3 million.
No, you couldn't.
You could have.
No.
See, if you're managing my money, you just say that, I paid myself a very, very good. Do you know what I mean? If my mom says she's paying herself a very, very good salary, that's different from as in removing the money in a way that when I check it, I'll know that you moved it in a dodgy way. Just collect it outright.
I won't say anything.
No, I think because I'm thinking about if I have children, I will pay myself very well. I'm not worried.
No,
you still have
so
the
that I'm
20
saying
million.
that it's not that they were not paying themselves. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, that they
like
removed
this one,
it.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. That why didn't you just? So the problem I have is not the 3 million you having it because like you earned it or whatever. The problem is you not taking it.
No, I will have a problem with
over the table.
But I'm not saying
if
anything.
you taking it under the table, I'm saying like
I'm not saying anything. I'll just be like, okay, so that's how we do it in this household.
I'm saying
But I won't
like
say
mad because
anything.
I don't like tighten things to my chest.
I will tight it too. I will tight it like mad. It's just I know that it will change the way I look at you, but I've always
it's cruel.
because I'm not. But I wonder how many people had that where it wasn't that their parents left them destitute. In fact, far from. But if they ever had like external auditors, the auditors were like, "Oh yeah, we just couldn't find."
I want to be honest.
Like
I'm
$1
going to go
million or
ahead
so
and say
dollars.
that I'm going to assume it's most.
Yeah, that was what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That I don't because obviously they're not going to. That's what I mean by they are not going to come out. Nobody's going to come out and say it. But I also imagine if you are a former child star, your dynamic with your family would be a bit odd. So do you then? I can't imagine how many fights they've had over money anyway. So would you then now come back to say? I always think of before I get into any fights. My first thing is what can this person potentially say?
Yeah.
And it's going to become I'm greedy and ungrateful.
Yeah.
They can't be wrong because I bet you that money flowed around to the rest of the family.
Yeah.
So who am I now going to go and be like, you did this wrong to me? How many parents are going to admit to stealing from their children? Who is going to say, yes, Ma Binu is true?
Yeah.
And then if you are really hurt, who are you going to speak to? Is it your siblings that are now going to say, oh yeah, how could mommy have stolen an extra 3 from you and left you with 20? Woo, woo, woo. Nobody's going to feel bad for me. That's the problem. I'm not going to get what I want out of this engagement. You'll be the who is it pastor that they pay tithe? Who is going to come and say, wow, how could you? It's only if I go and tell media. And guess what? They will still insult me.
You'll still be the fool.
I'll still be the bad person.
You'll still be the bad person.
But I'm just trying to imagine how jarring that must be to actually just say, oh, I'm taking charge of my life. First thing you want to do is an audit. And you're probably just doing the audit
just
to know.
To see what you have.
Okay, maybe I never really paid attention to how much is going and coming. Now
let me just check.
I get
I
there.
can't like break my heart. I mean, I'll not keep quiet. So,
I'll 100% keep quiet because
my displeasure would be made known. Let everybody know.
I'll just be like,
we know what's happening here. It's crazy.
It is.
Anyway, one in that situation. So.
No, but I was just wondering, like, if you had a situation where that was a
I think it would be very, very, very crushing. Me, I know for sure, Sha, I'm screaming as I'm reading it. I'm actually, you will come and ask me that what happened before I now tell you that. So you are all thieves. I think it's crazy, especially when there's a dynamic that like the money would have moved anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
I think money is too weird.
Yeah, it is very
I think
weird.
money is too weird.
It is very weird.
The context that it like, the way it changes things is, and you know what's always funny? The amount of money that can change things is not that much.
I disagree.
I know. I find that even when I say not that much, obviously I'm being a bit, I'm
facetious, yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a bit facetious, but it's usually not millions and millions that makes.
No, but you know that they didn't know they were stealing millions and millions. That's the thing. They will be shocked if the audit comes and
they see the total. Yeah.
Because what happened
because you'd have been taking it small.
If it's over 7 years, what happened was that it was 50K here, 70K here. Do you understand what I mean? So that's part of why you will seem like a somehow person. You will seem like a somehow person. It's true they stole. They are the bad person.
Yeah.
But by the time they now break it down, you will now be like, am I going to begrudge? I would just seem like an asshole.
Yeah.
Especially if there was still a substantial part of my what I was left with. You did a good job based on what you knew how to do. But there are just some times that you acted like based on, she's a kid or we don't want to change the family dynamic. You do something that is nonsense, quite frankly. You take my money and you don't tell me. So I try to imagine, because I'm thinking of all the child stars I know. A lot of them, their parents had to manage them earlier on.
It's very interesting. Yeah. I don't think I would be for it, Sha. To be honest, I guess it's like they're gifted children, but I don't think it's worth the things that come.
I don't believe in it. So child stars.
I don't. I don't think it's worth everything that comes with this. I think the impact it has on the rest of your life is, apart from the money, oftentimes not that worth it.
It's not.
Just people are knocked for life, I'm not sure that is a path that people should be going down. But
okay, I have one.
Right now,
do you have one?
Social media, this one now, no, I don't have one.
Okay, I have one last one. This person calls themselves Miss Joy. And Miss Joy says, my in-laws and I get along great. Cordial, respectful, no drama. Last year, in a perfectly casual conversation, my sister-in-law mentioned that she and her husband were planning to attend a destination birthday party this summer. She asked if her kids could stay with us for a week while they were away. Of course, I said, it's not a big deal. I even started picturing fun things to do with the kids. Zoos, museums, ice cream outings, the works. Fast forward a month after the chat, I found out I was pregnant. Surprise, fast forward again, the baby is here. I'm 2 months postpartum, running on minimal sleep and figuring out this whole new mom thing. We never really revisited the initial conversation, and I honestly assumed, maybe naively, that she'd obviously make new arrangements. Turns out I was wrong. I just found out that not only is she still planning to drop the kids off, she's booked their flights. Guys, it's not for a week. It's a whole month. A month when the party she's attending is a week long. Now, here's the kicker. We don't live in the same city or country. We're in 2 different parts of the UK. I don't have a maid. I'm breastfeeding, surviving on snacks and baby cuddles, and somehow she thinks since her mom is around, I'll be fine. I'm on maternity leave, yes, but that doesn't make me a free full-time nanny. Her kids are 4 and 6 years old. And honestly, I feel like this whole thing is incredibly inconsiderate. What would you do in my shoes? I will grab my husband's penis and say, if you don't talk to your sister, if you don't,
let me, first of all, of course, as in she's mad. Sometimes when you say things like people are inconsiderate, it makes it seem as if it is a state. You have to start with, your sister is mad. You can't say, she's being a bit inconsiderate.
A bit? That is crazy.
Whose children do you want to drop where? Don't find how to do childcare. And you know what I thank God for is there's a temperament of people. Now, I don't know your temperament, but clearly you need to jack your husband by his neck. You actually need to.
By his balls.
As in, by the time he calls sister, she needs to feel afraid. Because it's not just, on a normal day, it's actually inconvenient. But it's not just that you're saying, I don't have the time. You had a baby. And considering she has 2 kids, she also remembers when she had a baby. How many weeks are you postpartum? Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? Do you know what 4 and 6 year olds are? Wild individuals.
You can't even leave them anyway. You can't tell a 4-year-old,
you sit down here.
By the time you come back.
Meanwhile, you're already completely sleep deprived from your own baby.
Losing your mind.
You're trying to figure out this and that. You're breastfeeding. What? See, again, this is why and it is late for you, but I always advise that you build up a temperament that suggests that nobody can ask you.
No, do you know that it would have been very inconvenient, but if she's like a softie, you can firm it if it's a week.
You can.
A month.
I'm sorry, July, a week is crazy.
No, you don't know what I'm saying. Based on...
party.
Yes. Based on, their grandma is also around.
Okay.
You can say 1 week, you firm it. A month.
You clearly...
I have babysat...
You don't rate me. You don't rate the brother. Even the mother. You don't rate anybody in your family. I have
babysat a 4-year-old before. I almost threw... I did not even enter the house when I was dropping him with my friend. I threw the baby out of the window.
To her, like the father of the children?
No, they are going together for the birthday.
One love party.
Yeah, 1 week. 1 week back.
Let me tell you what happened. You also take my babies to that party. All of you are stupid. What's going on?
1 month.
Look, there are things that are inconsiderate. There are things that are downright crazy. And this is one of them.
Do you know what would even help?
My own is, how can this conversation still be happening? How has the husband not called her that sis is like, you're not well?
Do you know what would have made this a different, if it was like, they've paid for someone that's going to come
and help.
An extra one, somebody
like
to come
they just
in
need to be with family.
Yes,
but I've provided that. While we're away, there's childcare.
Yes.
Like, don't worry. I'm sorry that they're in your house and it might be a bit inconvenient, but you even be like, oh no, it's okay. Like as long as I don't have to be, you know what it's like.
Like you pay one.
That's what's crazy to me. I'm like, you have 2 children, so you know exactly what it's like.
Pay one teenager from church that lives in the area to come every day.
As in managing them.
£500. You come every day. Jonathan, you come in the morning. Anything grandma cannot do because
you do it.
You take
them running
the park,
up and down. You take them out of the house when just things that like I can't get.
And the person doesn't have to sleep in the house, but it's just that they're coming. But if you don't make that kind of extra arrangement, it's just small things like the baby sleeping pattern,
She
and you have a
also-
screaming 4
I'm
and
sorry,
6 year
it doesn't.
old.
You even if we even think about the fact that she needs the grandma to help with the baby in the first place,
And
then you now want to add 2 more children to somebody that just started their own. I just look again. There's a way that you will do things, especially now
it's because
knowing
you're a softie.
it
I
is,
think,
especially
for
now
sure.
knowing that she has had the baby.
Yeah, that's not
For
fair.
you to not even change your mind.
That's not nice.
She's counting on the fact that you're a soft
You're a
person
chill
that will
babe.
not shout. That you and your husband, no, is it those ones? Don't worry, they'll take care of them. It's very, very, very insane.
That's
to
not
me.
nice.
It's not nice.
That's
at all.
not nice.
And I think if you and your husband and maybe 2 of you are introverts, you're quite find who will shout at her. You need to find who will be like, aren't you shy? Don't you feel a bit shy?
I have a better suggestion. Shebi is your husband's mother that wants to come for Omugo. Let their own mom stay in the house with the children.
Yes.
Let your own mother come. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've have a perfect solution. Grandma,
Don't let them not
you
fly.
stay in
Grandma will go and
Scotland.
meet them.
She'll go and meet them in Scotland. My
Oh,
mother is
they'll
coming to
come.
England.
Yeah.
Oh, shame, my dear.
Don't worry.
That is
No, I'm sorry.
4 and 6.
That's out of line. 1 month. So you know what's happening? It's not about the party. Now they've used this to even go on holiday.
to go on vac.
They've done long vac.
And I don't blame them because I too would want a month away from my
I'm
4 and
telling you, but I will not
6-year-old.
give someone who just
What?
had a baby my children. In fact, you are, as the
Do you
sister,
know the
you're supposed
crazy
to be
thing?
saying, do you know what? Have a day, have a moment. Let me take care of the baby.
Do you know the funny thing is that this is what causes like those unfixable family rifts?
Yeah.
Where it's just like someone is holding resentment for a long time. Like, oh, she just behaved somehow towards me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, you know, it's one of those things where, do I even have to come and now say?
You don't. The truth is there's nobody that even needs to tell her that this doesn't make any sense. But she's counting on the fact that nobody's going to tell her.
Do I have to come and say,
You can tell that in the family, she's the one that does things.
You know,
everybody
I'm
else,
still hearing-
everybody else reacts. She's the one that just does whatever she likes, and everybody else is left
you
to
know,
just
I'm
be like,
still on diapers myself after this crotch goblin tore my pussy. But, you know, your 4 and 6-year-old,
sure. I mean, who's going to be making food for them?
you know, and you know, you're on the baby's time. So, and the baby's
sleep
feeding
when
is it
they
every 3
sleep.
hours. So, you're waking up to feed every
Yeah.
3 hours. You know, depending on how useful or useless or traditional your home is, your husband still has certain expectations of how the house is running. Like, what is happening here? You live in the UK where it's not like, oh, there is more affordable
Yeah.
housekeepers and what are you talking about? Like, there is no the help, your mental. I'm so convinced. And someone that I follow on Instagram, she did like a really nice, I don't know, like a set of stories about how she doesn't need to be told scientifically the difference between having a village around you when you have a baby and when you don't.
Yeah.
Because the one time she couldn't have her mom with her to help those first 20 or 30 days that she had her baby and her husband was still working full time because they needed the money. She said, if you don't have PPD as a mother without that,
Yeah.
you are actually one of God's favorites. As in your spirit must have told God sorry when Jesus died. That's how much he loves you because it is not normal.
Yeah.
So why would you be so
Why
inconsiderate?
would you now burden someone that is
that's
already
crazy.
deeply overwhelmed?
And like I hear the woman saying, hey, but we spoke about it that time now.
No worries now. As if nothing has changed. You know, when you just act like, whatever, if I just keep going, they'll
and
do
then you
it.
now be saying things like, the children are very good or they don't.
And they really like, you know,
They really
they'll
like
even
us
help.
or something.
They'll help with the baby.
They be asking about their cousin. Now, when people want to be bad, they are bad.
They're bad.
When people want to be bad, they are
A
bad.
month.
They are bad.
No, you actually have to be so shy to drop your children. No. This is actually, this is one of those things. You can't let it go. You can't let it go because this babe, she badly behaved. She's going to take it on board that, okay, when you were with a newborn, this is what you did.
Mhm.
Well, those children will be in your house. Like any small thing. Do you know, it's so crazy to me. They are flying over. Okay. I wish you luck.
I'd rather pay for my mom to come and
No,
stay in the house.
I don't think it's
and
okay. I don't think
It's too
okay.
hard. And then keep in mind that she'll be slightly on edge because It's not even her own mom.
It's not.
In
It's
the
her
house.
husband's mom.
It's her husband's mom.
So she's already kind of I don't know. You don't know what relationship, but no matter what,
Wow.
you're already sort of managing. Most mothers are on a.
All
It's
my
me that has had
friends-
children. It's you that doesn't know
all
how
my
to raise
friends
children.
have said that there is nothing like their husband's mother coming to help because I can't even be rude in peace.
Yeah.
My friend said, do you know how many times she told her mom, give me my baby, just give me my baby. Because but you can't say that to your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
You'll be thinking, with all your pain and kidney, if you know, and you know with girls, when our mom talks one, we'll talk two. If it's your mother-in-law, you can't shout.
You can't say.
You can't say your own.
anything.
You just
You'll
be looking.
waiting. That silly man will not come. That is him that will not receive all the anger because I'm
my
looking
mom-
at your
and you be
nonsense,
whispering
mommy.
in the room because you can't shout. Especially in that England with their wooden door, with the wooden wall. You can't shout. Your mommy said, my mommy said, oh, shut up. Shut up. Just shut up your mouth. Shut up. So should I tell
Only
her
for
to-
someone to be
should I
saying,
tell her- should I tell her-
this is
should I
how
tell
you people do
Should I
things
tell her
here.
to go? Okay, shout now. Let her hear. Shout. Shout. So that tomorrow they can be eyeing me. Shout. I don't like the way she bathed baby. Was she rough? Shut up. Shut up. Ah, no. Genuinely, this is a crazy dilemma, girl.
I think it's crazy. I think it's really, really, really crazy. And
You know, this is the only thing I've ever worried about.
what?
In-law dynamics.
I don't worry about it.
I worry about it all the time.
I feel like, listen, three can play this game.
No, what I mean by in-law dynamics is that do you know how often my mom is just like, please remember you have a family. Stop ignoring us. We live in the same house. What the hell is happening here?
I pray that it works out because if it doesn't, I'm actually not going to. You know, a lot of people I think will go out of their ways to try and make it. I won't.
But I don't need to. I don't think I need to.
I just will not.
I am so delightful. If you don't like me, you're
It's
actually
actually
a
your
witch.
fault.
You're
That's
actually a
my
witch.
problem is that
I'm so sorry.
if you have an issue with me, I think that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we need to look into that. Number two, is your fault. Now, when my children are saying, oh, they don't really know the people on their daddy's side. Oh, hey, yeah.
That was the opposite for me. Oh.
It would just be, hey, yeah, so sorry about everything because you people decided that you wanted to behave badly.
My dad's
But
side
anyway,
of
I'm
the
not even
family
for
is
any
solid.
family member staying in any house. I hate it.
I love it.
The concept to me, I hate it. Everybody should go to their
Maybe
respective.
because I was always the family member staying in
No.
the homes of
I'm not
others.
into staying.
I'm sure that my mom just used to be like, why is this girl disgracing me? Time to leave my uncle and auntie's house, I will start crying. My mom would just be like, do you know that we feed her? We play with her. She's in charge of the television. What is happening? I don't know. Time to leave my grandparents' house, screaming and crying.
It's so funny because I used to love it.
When I say like, as in holding my grandma's leg, crying.
everybody will now think that they are wicked
What is
to you in
happening?
your house.
Yeah. After that, they should send my uniform on Sunday. I'm not going. My grandma will drop me in school. What if grandma has plans? She loves me. She will take me to school. Nothing I loved more than staying with where it was not my house. Oh, nothing I enjoyed
know.
so much as not being in the home.
The problem is me,
That was
once I've
prepared
done
for
the
me.
rubbish that I want to do outside my house like 1-2 days, I've started calling my mom.
Zero.
Oh yeah.
I was, do you know, even on the one they'll say, oh, your mom, my parents have called us and I say, hello. Hello, I'm playing. Go. Like, why are you here? How are you? I'm fine. Bye-bye. Wow. I love that. I've loved that. Maybe that's why in my old age, I don't like outside. In my youth, oh my God. Catch me outside. I want to know children that I'll play in my neighbor's house till my dad actually comes to be like,
What's
sorry,
going
excuse me.
on? No, to be fair, we had a lot of that. So my mom and her friends, they're all in the same friendship. So what they do, they just dump everybody's children on one person for the weekend. So all of you should go there. And it was always like that. So I enjoyed that. And then you go back home. But there was always, we are all going to XYZ's house all the time.
That's what makes me unique. We don't need to be all. Only me. I'm okay. Wow. I loved being not in my house. I just enjoyed it so much. Even the things that they used to have to force me to do. I've done my homework. I was so well behaved. So I'm sure they thought that genuinely these parents are wicked. Because my dad
Because you're
would
just
come-
thinking that
My
why
dad would be
does
like,
she
"No,
never
doesn't do
want
that
to
too."
go home?
She doesn't do that here. She's very well behaved. She eats her food. She finishes her food. She lays her bed. She does everything she's supposed to do. And I look at my parents like, can you see your life outside? You can't even control a 6-year-old. Reporting me to all and sundry.
No.
I loved being not in my
Please,
home.
I
Now,
don't want. You can visit so anything more than 2-3 days. Yeah, my lolly.
no, as long as I don't have to take care of you.
What, the family
after that
members?
first 2-3 days,
I don't want you.
don't come and start acting like you don't know how things go. It's like me going to Fakemi's house now and not saying, you will ask me what I want to eat. Okay, if I like,
that's your business.
I should not figure it
If
out.
you like, don't eat.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know. I don't.
Well,
I'm
you don't
not,
like it. Depends. No, see my big man. Depends on the family.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
depends on
That's
the
what I'm
family.
saying. I don't know who I'm going to end up with. So I want to announce now that please, whoever it is, in case you're listening to the podcast, I hate family members. I hate them. As a rule, I'm allergic to any family member.
Do you know what I really want us to do an episode where people talk about their in-laws?
Yeah.
Like just send us
the information.
like the things
Because you
dislike
forget that
about
the
them.
in-laws are not, it's not just people always talk about maybe the mother-in-law. They are their siblings.
Those are the ones that they hate the most.
That's what I
actually.
think. I actually think that the mother-in-law gets too much of a bad rap because you know who is usually the problem.
And because they expect those ones. Siblings. I saw a woman on, that Family Matters show.
Yeah.
She was talking about how her husband doesn't see her as family. It's his sister and his brother.
Do you know that I find this thing really jarring? Because come to find out, a lot of Nigerian men, they see their children as family, their siblings, their parents. Their wife is just somebody.
This woman was trying to explain to the judge how bad it is that her and her husband had sex.
Yeah.
He got up to go and tell his sister that actually he's not feeling well. That can his sister go and help him get medication? She said she was like, did we not? Did we? That he'll talk to his sister and be telling his wife, like, can you imagine what it is for your husband to be talking to his sibling about something he's worried about? You enter the room, he stops talking. He doesn't communicate with. I said, wow.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have temperaments for a lot of situations. What do you mean you and your sister are? I don't understand.
He and his brother, he went to report her to his brother. His brother came to be threatening her in the house. I was going to deal with her.
Sorry, your brother wants to deal.
Like Soji says, pony.
Hey!
You will not believe when first of all, they will knock me out. But I will first box him. Because surely and truly, you didn't come to my house to be threatening me.
You didn't come, in your nonsense brother? God. Anyway, may God help us, because... What do you mean your brother said he would deal with
She
me?
said that there's just so much that she can't. And a woman there started, someone that was just in the crowd was crying. Based on, I pity you.
Yeah.
I so deeply pity
you that I can't believe what's going on.
The woman was telling the judge that if you had told her that she can carry bottle for somebody, talk less of her husband, she should have said they are lying, but she has run, that the man has run her mad.
You have to run mad.
The man has run her mad. I've always been...
I'm sure the siblings love it.
Yes, no. I think you can't be happy in your home and enjoy your siblings being unhappy in theirs. I think it's actually fundamentally impossible.
It is. Do
you know why? Because if I'm enjoying my life with my husband, my siblings calling me to report, to talk to... Excuse me.
Yeah.
Me, my husband, my children were having a great time over here. You are coming to tell me, and can you believe she knows I'm allergic to ogbono? She did not make okra. Then tomorrow, I suspect Ebube is not my own. I want to do blood tests. Hey, then you come another day. I want you to be the signatory to my account because I don't trust her. Then the next thing, I'm just like, you can't be happy in your home. No, genuinely.
Yeah.
Fake me think about it. Your brother is now, every other week, he's calling you with a problem. You go and do family meeting. Then, excuse me. I actually don't think it's possible.
No, it's not.
It's not possible.
I'll have to just at some point be like, listen.
Me, I grew up in a ridiculously happy home.
Yeah,
on
so
many sides. So I don't understand
these things.
all these things.
Look.
Do you know how agog I was when I first started hearing some of the stories people would say about their families? I said, that means if I talk about what happens in my house, you guys will actually think I'm lying. If I tell you what happens in the extended family,
this problem.
Let me give you an example of the kind of home I come from. Auntie Nike's birthday, my uncle's wife, she used to work they were Airtel at the time. My uncle, she was at work in India. They carried her for training. You guys, I shit you not. Uncle Tunde basically plotted with her bosses to do flash mob in India. He went there.
But see, that's high romance.
That is how we are in my house. That's what I mean. So imagine my dad not liking my mom and trying to call that one to be saying, oh, in she today.
He'll be like, what?
He would just be like, so sorry. Sharing
have to go.
Sharing suya with wifey. Talk to you later, boy. There are some things that, and my mom, do you know that even now that my parents really, really want me to get married, my mom still begs me that, please, in our house, we don't know how to fight.
Yeah, so don't go and
so
bring.
Please don't go
anywhere
that you'll be telling your mother-in-law that I'm calling my mommy. Hey, you call me. If you call me, I just say, so sorry. What's going on? What's going on here? My mom, my dad, they've warned me so many times that please don't go anywhere.
My mom is always saying it that if this was how that me, because every time she always says, oh, what about this person? I will now say, oh no, their trouser is yellow. She's always like, no problem. Those are if I were you, I'll be considering his mother, his auntie, his brother. Those are the things you should look at, because she's like, anyway, you've met us. We don't do all these things. We won't talk to them.
My family is just
I'm
not
just
the
like,
one.
it's just not it.
Uncle Tunde will back any beef.
No,
my
mom
parents,
is like mad. The problem is she's just like, why would we be behaving like animals here?
Nothing concern my dad pass. Let's ask the Holy Spirit to take control. Hey! You imagine going somewhere to think we are about to draw the battle line. But my father will just open the Bible and say,
start praying.
A cantankerous spirit is something. So I say, hey, please, I've already told them that we're coming to fuck them up. What are you talking about, Daddy?
You know what I hate?
I've already told them that you grew up in Mushi. Please rise up.
I can't even say, because they won't do it. If I tell my husband, my brother will beat you. My brother will be the one that will say, bro, I'm not coming, but next time don't do that.
No. I know the kind of house I come from. My parents will literally be like, why did you marry hooligans? What is happening here?
I think it's it's dicey because a lot of times it feels like you don't know till you get there, but there are signs.
No, truly, you have to know what you're doing, because
there are signs.
I'll never forget the tweet that says, please watch who you marry, because that's how I'm with my sister and we are at the police station because of my brother-in-law. He went to fight. So, but that's what happened. Just say he went to fight though. No, please. Can you imagine?
Do you know one of the categories of men I can't be with is a fighting nigga? As in that will go out, somebody will do something. Then getting into fisticuffs.
Now they're calling me to say, Jola, sorry, I think we just saw, we were passing on Lekki. My husband has used his car to block the road. They are fighting. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I imagine my husband engaging in blows, fisticuffs, outside.
No. You have to know the family that you're.
And a bigger issue that I'll have is if you don't win.
Oh my God.
Oh, bro, you actually can't come home. That police station, you must sleep there. What do you mean you engaged in blows with somebody then you didn't beat them?
You didn't beat them, they beat you.
No.
You have to know the kind of family
you have to know where you are. Every time I see things like that where babes are trying to hold their guys who are avoid any small thing. So sorry, I can never be part of
Someone
that.
I know was saying how, like one of the big problems that doctors have, and it's global, particularly in third world countries, is people don't take negative outcomes well.
Yeah.
So they beat doctors a lot. Do you guys know this? Like if
I know
a family member
hospital,
dies, or they beat them, they beat doctors. So someone was like, she was about to have surgery. And so I think that the conversation was about that on Twitter, and her account is locked, bless her. People were like, oh, how can, some of you guys have wild animals as relatives, blah, blah, blah. She said, how she knows is that when she was about to have surgery, she took her husband to lunch. She said, please, if the worst happens, don't beat anybody. She said, because she knows who she married. That she had to just tell him that, yes, please, this is supposed to be a routine surgery. I know, but God forbid,
something happens.
That she almost knelt down to beg the man. And she said the way he was just looking at her when she was talking, she knows that if anything negative happens, he's going to beat that. So she had to call her mother to say, please, when you people reach hospital, please look at this man well. Don't allow him talk to anybody. Just the way she was talking, he was just looking at her. Like, oh, you think he will die? Then everybody will go scot-free. No, now. No, now. I found it so... my uncle was a doctor. He has a thin patch of hair where he said that it's the most evil profession in the world. That he used to pull... He was so anxious.
He used to pull his hair
He used to pull his own hair. And my uncle... Nails, half of them are halfway. He said he used to chew that profession is evil. That I've ever had to tell a babalawo that his child did not make it. Okay. Don't worry.
So that somebody will be displaying.
That somebody will tell you that he wore his Ogboni cult uniform to come to the hospital. First of all, they'll be arguing who is treating. I might just say, I'm not on duty, I'm not on call. They'll be now see that medicine in this country that no. He knows why he left that place.
No, you can imagine all different kind of characters
some people will be arguing with you about their medication. Someone will say in their family they only use local herbs. So why are you here now? Why are you here? No. Nigeria is different.
I can actually imagine maybe a family of cultists. You now say sorry. Sorry what?
Somebody said that someone said that if you like a Port Harcourt, tell person that their family member don't die. Don't worry. Tell them now. Tell them. They'll beat you. They'll so beat you. Why do you think some hospitals have mopo at the front?
It's true, Sha.
At the front. Do you know how crazy that is?
Accommodation, so you quickly run back inside.
Hazards of the job.
No, but Nigerians are not okay, so you can fully imagine somebody threatening them that come, bros, know what you are doing.
No, but it used to happen with cultists. Cultists would take their guys to hospital and they'll be telling the doctor.
Yeah, that if
anything happens to this person, that they have marked your face. As how now? I will join the cult too. There is no way. There is no... You want to... I will just start saying all our chants, please, among... I'm with you. Viper is gone, but I can take his place. Please, I'm a serpent also. Are you joking? No. There's something that... Don't fake me. Imagine I was a doctor and I can tell you that today. One cultist told me that if I don't... I'll just see me red. Red top to toe. Plus my coats. Red. Wither you. I'm with them. Nah, that is not to me.
I think we have to get one of those. I would like a doctor that's been beaten up.
Shane. No, what you need is a doctor that's worked in a general hospital.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
And doing like surgery.
Yes.
Because those are the dangerous things where people are...
Yes.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. But also grief is weird because I remember when my grandpa died, my uncle and my dad were very distraught, obviously. But my granddad had COVID. So initially they were like, maybe the hospital did something wrong.
Yeah.
Me and my siblings and my cousins were like, that nigga was 85.
Nah, like there's nothing that...
He was 85.
There's
the
nothing...
way my uncle and my dad felt originally, like, no. I said, my grandpa had stopped saying amen when people say you will live long. What the hell are you talking about? The man had told us straight up, I'm not joking, my grandpa had told us that if he ever gets to the point where he starts wearing adult diapers, he is going to hold his nose and mouth and kill himself. He used to joke. He said no, that he was telling me Yoruba that maybe he would drink to flare up his diabetes so he can go. Or
I can't lie, I don't think I would want to. You know how people always want to live to like 130? For me to do what?
No, my grandpa was like, as soon as he can't be a swag daddy anymore.
Bro, because I'm like, why should I have to be moved around? I can barely see, unless I'm up and doing,
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah. My granddad only still used to wear glasses to read. He used to walk around. He used to party. He used to play. He had told us straight up, anyone that wants to get to the hospital, they're not saying, oh, every day you have to. Or that I'll come in London with diapers and I'll say, Grandpa, let's go and change. He said he will shoot himself with a local gun. Because my grandpa and I had the same sense of humor. I inherited my sense of humor. He said, he will hold his nose about. I said, Grandpa, you can't hold your nose about. I said, watch me. Whoa, you will not believe that when they will write it there, he held his nose and mouth to death and passed away. And I get it. Independent grandparents don't do well, though, with you having to take care of them in that way.
All right, I think, what do we have again? I think that's
pretty much it, actually.
Hope you guys have had a good time.
If you like, don't have.
By the time you see this, we would have left.
I'm actually abroad.
Or would have been abroad, left the country. I'd have gone to my homeland.
Speaking of which, I watched the episode with Tolly and with Craig David and
I've been
Receipts.
saving that for tonight.
Do you know
Can't
the funniest
wait.
thing from that? Audrey apparently took etiquette lessons. And the only thing she can remember is that it's not hello, it's heli. I swear.
It's
You need to
hello?
listen. That's how you say hello.
Heli.
Yeah, like how the Queen says hello.
I've heard the Queen but
You
she's
need to
never
hear her.
said
You need to hear her say it. It made everybody laugh immediately.
Heli.
She actually got it right. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I did etiquette lessons. You're not seeing it. I had to walk with a
On
book.
you.
I had to walk with a book on my head.
You.
Then you're supposed to slide into the car.
Do you know
That
what
thing that you use one leg, no. You're supposed to slide, bum first. Then you slide.
Inside that, I under. I will so knock my head.
Supposed to slide into the car. I learned a lot of things.
I'm sure you went to all those etiquette lessons, like all those people that are teaching those children on Instagram.
The rhyme. Do you guys, can I just understand why you're sending your children? Do you know who I want to talk to? Somebody whose children are in that class.
Have you ever been to a museum? A museum.
And the thing is, the children know that they are whining themselves. So you say the children is my name. I'm in primary 5, and you can see them about to start laughing because they're like, "Kili, why like
my name?" I know what makes me laugh. Like the children now be bobbing their head. My name is Mustafa. I go to school in Lagos. I said,
I'm just like, what?
If you go anywhere that they speak English as their first language, they'll call for an interpreter.
And there's so many of these people now that I'm just like, sorry, are you guys not hearing the English that people are speaking? It's crazy.
It's nuts. It's absolute nuts.
I'm like, you actually can't go far talking like that. That's the problem.
My name is... Green Springs, we did
or elocution.
Elocution and
Joker
then...
Silva was my elocution teacher.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I speak so well.
Oh, shut up.
You can see it, can't you?
And they forced the whole school to learn how to write in cursive. It was a really crazy time. That's what they were using our parents' school fees to.
Every time someone saying my voice, man, it says
it's
Joker Silva. She tried.
Sure.
She tried.
I'm sure she's proud of you as an alumni.
I actually saw her not too long ago. Very proud. So that's it. Very proud.
Is there anything else? As usual, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share
all them ones.
Leave comments.
Good day.
etc.
Have a good time.
Bye.
We're out of the country. Good luck.
Bye. This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Carousel Networks. Your hosts are Jola Jules Ayeye and Feikemi FK Abudu. Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our social media manager is Najiti Anira. Our cinematographers are Rotimi Kujuri and Divine Nabuko. Production assistant is Theresa Ajayi. And on audio, we have David Kenny. Our camera assistant is Abolade Oluyede. This season of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Coins by Bamboo.